Alright, so 5 minutes solar moon video, here we go. So solar moon, what are we talking about? This is your male side. So if this was like a T here, this is your pole down the middle. This is your left side of the T. This is your right side. So this is Lucifer over here at the left side of God, your father on the left side, and then, or in the front, the leading edge is here. You can look at it if you want us to think about more. We really should be looking at more three-dimensionally. This is moving at us. This is pulling away from us. This is at your right-hand side. And so this would be whipping back if this one's moving forward. And this is your moon, your mother, your matter. And so here is your aether, here is your matter. And so you always have your two basic forces in the world, Tweedledee and Tweedledum agreeing to have a battle. The mother and father, agreeing to kind of appear in this life as two separate things so they can kind of come back together and reform, as these whole children who can then go out and do it again. So because everything is a mirror of a coaxial circuit, and so when male and females are getting together and then splitting out into other coaxial circuits, a family tree is going to look exactly like lightning flashing or like any force in motion travel, because that's what it is. Because all energy travels along a double halo helix wave. Credit scientifically, watches videos, scientific space capital L little e, scientifically. So watches videos about double halo helix wave. I'm dying. Sorry, I apologize. So this is your marriage sequence: 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 1.53, 12, 3, 1.5, 6, 12, 24, 48. Together, 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 3, 7, 6, 5, 3, or 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, 32, 48. And so that's two waving sequences, two doubling sequences together. And what pattern does this make going out? And we'll see this a little better if I can switch to one other picture, this pattern going out. And so I'm not going to spend any time on this, but if you understand your DNA sequence, the beginning of your DNA sequence, and then the combination that makes up here is this, the important one is this ATGC. Okay, and so here you can see it in the numbers a little better, these two doubling sequences. Here I have it split up how this is the only numbers you're going to find are these numbers. Okay, well, basically these 8, you could look at them as 8 different digits when you look at the reverse, but in these 4 symbols is going to be every number. The 9 is invisible. Okay, the 9 ball doesn't exist, or it's like invisible. It's the intersection, and that's why it's the N in the alphabet, the plus sign, as the N was written in some older alphabets, like the middle of the target, the Z axis, and the 9. So the 9, the N, the Z axis are all together. Okay, you can also see that I have the musical notes going around. I have my different alphabets going around. I have it numbered out in just a traditional counting system, or a counting system here to show the different connections there. And then I also have the zodiac here put in here. And so this is Jesus, the hero in the center. The hero is you, Neo, Ready Player One, and you're sitting in between your 12 helpers, your 12 disciples. So where is the 13th warrior? Oh, that's you, right here in the middle, the 13th warrior, number 9, sitting in the 13th position. Okay, here's the other numbers. 13th is here, but that's accounting. That's assigning everybody a different numerical position. But what do their numbers mean in a waving sequence or the doubling sequence or this Fibonacci curl that is double waving, creating all of life? It is this. This is numbers seen as a wave instead of numbers seen as particles. And so that's kind of core to just everything for me as I'm trying to understand and believe is that, I'm trying to put the wave back over the cross. There's people who pray to put the cross over the crescent. That's the symbol for Saturn. The symbol for Jupiter ascending, is the crescent over the cross. Seeing the wave in wave particle duality, seeing the wave over the particle. Hey, and for me, you're just a moron. If you see particles over waves, you don't understand logic. It's waves before particles. The waves have to exist to be able to create the ability for waves to crash and create then the points that get misinterpreted as particles. So in the reality, like no male came without a female. No particle or point comes without a wave, because everything is a wave at its genesis, or at its core, at its feminine. It's all waves. So waves that, I'll admit, can look like particles, and we've been deep in particle circus for a long time now, and the idea of this symbolism is to try to help wake us up out of that. And so one more picture real quick, just showing the numbers. And so here's just the numbers. And so, I mean, do you need to put an accounting numerical value on this? No, because the colors are showing you. See how the color, look at 8 is all the way in here, the center, and then all the way out at the outside, 5, 1, 2, that's 8. Okay, and so whenever you're looking at something, you're always just looking at this number wheel, because everything's always a whole. You're always looking at unity. You're always looking at an infinity. You're always looking at a wholeness. Hey, you have to be. There couldn't be any other way. There couldn't be anything separate from anything else, So, um, so we live in a the perception of duality, but anybody who can kind of meditate and logically think, eventually there is a marriage of the duality, and before that, even there is a complete, the duality goes back to a singularity at some point, but I also agree with scientifically that I think that, I'm still a little bit on the fence between it being all kind of waves. I mean, I think probably it is all kind of waves at some level, but I think for practical purposes, it's definitely smart for practical purposes right now, especially at least with interacting with people, is to at least to go from the working model that energy and matter are separate, and energy moves through matter. But I kind of described the other version, But anyway, let's move on. So actually, we'll just kind of let you guys look at this. I'm probably fucking it up by talking too much here. So just look at, you can see how this goes 1.5, the colors all the way up. And so see how the color stays the same all the way down to the center. So when you're looking at this wheel in the center here, this wheel is the same as this wheel. And this is what I really like about these pictures. What they're trying to show is that, wherever you are in your color wheel, your opposites on the other side, So the opposite of this is this. I mean, and I'm not perfect, but green and red that's pretty good opposite here, Pretty good. Did pretty good on these, as the best as I can do, is just trying to split up all colors into, what's most convenient. And this is why I think we see this repeated over in nature and myth and everything in science, is this 12. But anyway, I think you pretty much get my point for that video. I'm going to end it there. Thanks everybody for watching. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Or if you have any questions.